What up? What up? What up? You truly the unruly RB3. I know some of you guys were saying that you couldn't really hear my voice over the music that's playing in the background. There's some adjustments I got to make regarding that. Definitely appreciate the feedback. I kind of had a feeling that it was uneven in that regards, but nonetheless, I'm gonna work on that. Some of which means getting better equipment, but you know how that goes. Things take time. But let's talk about Kanye and his I guess you could say his beef with Chase Bank. Apparently, Chase Bank has decided to part ways business-wise with Kanye. And they're saying it's because he said something that basically denoted his favoritism, or positively speaking, on the grounds of agreeing with the guy with the short mustache from Germany. Who you guys know what I'm talking about. The short mustache guy. I'll just say it like that. And I don't recall him saying anything all that bad regarding that. I think this is more about his recent interviews and him going on Fox News talking to Tucker Carlson. And I believe it's in regards to his conservative leanings, because there's been a definite effort and a definite push in regards to people who are using their freedom of speech, and they don't make no bones about it. Like, yo, we conservative, this is how we think, this is this, that, whatever. It seems like conservatism, and if you're conservative, you are under attack right now. There's a war being waged against people who are conservative, and it's definitely being turned up a notch, especially with the midterms right around the corner. And you got the far left leaners. They know what's coming. They know the red wave is coming. And in 2024, their worst fears are going to come to fruition, whether it's Trump returning to office or DeSantis holding that seat. Either way it goes, it's going to be a conservative president in 2024. And the Democrats are scared to death of that. And everybody that's in bed with the Democratic Party, the far left, the extra overtly woke, anybody that's on that team, these big tech companies, these banks, Chase Bank has basically revealed their hand, claiming it's because what Kanye said about the short mustache guy. But I don't think it's that at all. Because unless there is some secret quote or secret interview of him talking about that guy and saying that he supported him and agreed with him and all that, I don't recall him ever saying anything remotely close to what Chase Bank is accusing him of doing. I think this is a political ploy. I think Chase is in the corner of the far left, just like all these big tech companies, just like companies like Facebook, Google, YouTube. And before Elon Musk bought Twitter, you could put them also in the same category. You see what they're doing. You look at Alex Jones, for instance. Now, I don't agree with what he said. I think he was wrong in what he said, especially coming out saying, hey, this is this, and it didn't happen. Instead of saying, you know what, I think, or you know what, in my opinion, this is what could have happened. It probably, rest in peace to the children that lost their lives in that massacre. But I understand a fine or whatever, but $1 billion is definitely overkill. What they're trying to do is financially destroy people who are not on the left side of the aisle. If you're an independent thinker and you have different thoughts, and based on your personal research, it has brought you to a different point that will separate you from being assimilated like a lot of the masses are. Whatever the Democrats go, you have a lot of people in society today, whatever the Democrats go, whatever they say, a lot of these people will believe them no matter what. And then you poke holes in what, the liberals are saying. All of a sudden you're deemed as a terrorist, you're a problem. And since they can't legally create situations where, let's put these people in jail, let's lock these conservatives up. They can't really overtly do that. So what they're doing is financially assassinating people who are independent thinkers and who are not on the left side of the aisle. We are under attack. And you look at what Chase Bank is doing, and they're not the only ones. Because you look at what supposedly PayPal put out, like leaked like a memo or whatever, that they were going to start fining people who are $2,500 for using their servers if that person, what they're putting out in the public and social media, if it's deemed as misinformation. If you use PayPal as a ways of financial transactions, you will be fined $2,500. And then they quickly backpedaled on that, saying, what were they saying? It was a leak. It wasn't us. It was an accident. It was something to that effect. And they only did that because when they, air quotes I'm using, put out the leak by mistake, air quotes, according to them, people in droves started canceling their account. They started deleting their accounts. They started deleting the app itself. Once PayPal saw that happening, that's when they started talking about, we didn't put that out. We don't know how it happened. It was definitely a mistake, and all this blah 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 stuff. They basically turned into Charlie Brown's teacher, trying to explain away why they didn't say those things about a $2,500 fine and it's a leak and this and that. Oh, you know what I believe? In my personal opinion, they knew exactly what the hell they were doing, and they did say that, and they had full intentions of following through on that threat. And basically, that threat is geared towards conservatives, because if you're on the left side of the aisle, they have a tendency to ignore things that you can view as just as extreme as they would claim conservatives are being. Even more so. You have people who are on the left side trying to dox people. If they find out you're a conservative, they want to put out your address and your information and your personal name and stuff, where you work, where you live. And you have people online threatening to do harm to you just because of your political leanings. Now, is that not terrorism? I mean, in my personal opinion, why wouldn't that fall in the same category? So let me get this correct. Because I think different from you and I vote different from you, it gives you mysteriously gives you the right to threaten me and put out all my personal information. I thought this administration and the White House were putting out a concerted effort to stop cyberbullying. Does that not fall under the category of cyberbullying? I mean, shit. Sounds like it to me, but seems like it only applies to you if you are conservative. And Kanye is feeling the brunt of it right now. He's making no bones about it. He's always been forthcoming about his conservative leanings. He's always been upfront about him and Trump's relationship and supporting Trump. I mean, he would walk around with the MAGA hat also. He still supports Trump. I, too, support Trump, and I would definitely be voting for Trump in 2024. And in the midterms, you better believe all the way down the ballot, I'm going to be voting conservative because I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican. I have libertarian leanings also, but overall, I am a conservative Republican who happens to be a straight black man. So add all those things up, and I too fall in the same category as, well, if this guy becomes too big, if he starts to get a heavy social media following, we might have to Andrew Tate him too. We might have to Kanye Red Blizzard 357 also. And that's basically what they're doing now. They are financially assassinating people because that's their last hope. They're kicking and screaming right now. They're like the child in the supermarket who's spoiled. You tell them they can't have something, all of a sudden they fall on the ground and they start kicking and screaming because they can't get their way. This is exactly how people on the left side of the aisle are thinking, including the people running these big tech companies, including the people running Chase Bank, JP Morgan Chase. So, since conservatives are under attack and we're being financially assassinated, allow me to call on all my fellow conservatives. If you are currently with JP Morgan Chase in any kind of way, if you do any kind of financial transactions with JP Morgan Chase, I call on you to end all business dealings with that bank. Move your money to another financial institution as soon as possible, as soon as you get a chance to. See, since they want to play these little tactical games and be dirty about it, then maybe we should do the same thing also. As a matter of fact, not maybe. As of right now, let's start doing it. We can start our own movement to combat what these big tech companies are doing to bully us, what society as a whole, of which is being run by the far left, is trying to bully us. And since they can't arrest us all on frivolous things because they don't agree with our political leanings, they stoop to other levels. And these levels are undercutting us at our knees financially. See, they're desperate at this point. They know the Democrats are about to get wiped out in these midterms, as well as 2024, the presidential elections. So these are their last-ditch efforts of desperation. All because Kanye has a difference in opinion that falls on the conservative side. All because he shows support for Donald Trump. That is really what big tech cannot stand. That is really what JP Morgan Chase cannot stand, because they fall on the liberal left side. So they want to use bits and pieces of maybe a small clip of Kanye speaking on the short mustache guy. And it was probably taken completely out of context. But they're jumping on that and using that as a reason to undercut him. And, as far as they're saying, in their business relationship with Kanye. But it's deeper than that. And that's not, in my personal opinion, that's not the reason they're doing that. It's because of his conservative leanings and who he shows support for, Donald J. Trump That is what this is really all about. And let's say that Ron DeSantis defeats Trump in the primaries and he becomes the Republican nominee for the presidency in 2024. Kanye is going to vote for DeSantis. He's going to show support for DeSantis because he's part of the new breed of thinking black men who will no longer blindly, like a bunch of zombies, like a bunch of sheep being herded into the slaughterhouse, would no longer just vote Democratic because you're supposed to, according to the black community. You go against the black community when you don't vote Democratic. And it doesn't matter if these people know what the hell they're doing. It doesn't matter if when they get into these offices of which they ran for, it don't matter if they do anything for black people specifically, for any neighborhoods that black people might live in. It doesn't matter. You are looked at and viewed as, you have to vote Democratic. Because if you don't, according to Joe Biden, you're not black. What a fucking insult that is. And Kanye and straight black men like Kanye, who will no longer fall for the dumb shit, are being attacked financially. And this is what they resorted to because this is the only weapon they have left in their arsenal. But it's not going to work because we're here and we're not going anywhere. So anyway, I might have this clip down in the description section. You guys can check it out for yourself. If not, this is not hard to find. It's on Google. It's been all over social media. And, it's a shame that the situation has resorted to this. But it is what it is. There is a war on conservatism. And we are not going to take this shit lying down. We're going to stand up and defend ourselves. And whatever happens, happens. So be it. But the thinking black man, the conservative black man, we ain't going no motherfucking where. Believe that shit. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. You like my content, show support and hit that Cash App, $Cobra Clutch 357. Boycott Chase Bank.